Yeah. Without further ado, Jim. Without further ado.
What?
Okay, big guest alert. Ben Fadden, Talking Friars in studio. Ben, welcome back. How are you, man?
Doing good. Thank you.
That's great.
So, okay, here's the deal. And it's a good thing I'm between you two.
Yeah.
Because there's a little bit of, I mean, it's like a bigger rivalry potentially than like Padres-Dodgers.
Well, here's the thing.
That's not a rivalry, though.
Well, that's the thing. So it's more intense than that, okay?
It's like, you invite someone in your home.
I thought you were about to say, like, we invite this loser.
we invite someone into our home. We give them food.
No, we don't.
We, we talk to them. We have them,
We don't do anything for him.
And then he comes in the house and he just messes the whole house up.
Yeah.
And he's just looking at me like, who are you?
We might have a reenactment of that Dodger home run derby fight.
Yes,
I did see that.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Do you have headphones?
I do not.
We need to get you headphones.
Just just give him here. Take my headphones.
You know what?
Just give me my headphones. That's fine.
Okay, if you're
I'm not
not
afraid to hit a
familiar
kid.
If you're not familiar with Ben, well, you probably are. If you're not familiar with Jim, he works with us on Jon and Jim. Ben's at Talking Friars on social media. You have a YouTube channel.
John has never been more enamored with somebody in his entire life. It's
great to have Ben here, man. It's just so much. It puts me at
every
ease.
single day. It's
hey, we need to get Ben in here.
should we get Ben in the studio?
And then when he DMs us and he's like, "Hey, can I swing by?" I'm like, "Thank the Lord." He asked if he could swing by on Wednesday.
I really should have just stayed home today.
No, that's not true. That's not true.
You ran a freaking Twitter poll asking everybody if I should stay home, and 87% people said yes.
Okay, that did happen.
Yeah.
And then Ben just tweeted to add fuel to the fire. I'm in with John Schaeffer and some other guy today from 3 to 6.
You're playing with fire, buddy. You're playing with fire, buddy.
There are few people that cover the Padres as well as Ben. No joke. And Jim agrees with that. And a lot of our listeners do as well. So if you're not following Ben on social media, it's at Talking Friars. On YouTube, Talking Friars as well. Where can our listeners find you first and foremost?
Yeah, on all social media, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Talking Friars. I'm not dancing or anything, don't worry. And then Talking Friars on YouTube as well. And Twitter, that's where I'm most active. Bullpen usage charts before every game, post-game reactions, talking about the Padres pretty much 24/7.
Yeah, it's great, Ben.
Unlike
Awesome.
Jim.
All right. Jim is dating 24/7 and then occasionally tweeting some photo of like names Francisco Mejia hitting a double down the left field line for Tampa Bay.
Yeah, I'm tweeting in-game highlights. This guy's tweeting, Ty France hit a home run.
It's important to know.
All right, so everyone stay back. So I got all concerned, no joke, at the break, and in listening to Darren earlier today, because he was reading the Jim Bowden piece in The Athletic about what it's going to take to get Juan Soto. We've been talking about this for days, Ben. You have as well. This whole heaven and earth idea, but A.J. Preller could certainly get involved in this because we'd be surprised if he didn't. But now Jim Bowden is bringing in this possibility of the team that lands Soto is also going to have to take on the contract of Patrick Corbin, who's been this massive disappointment as a starting pitcher. He's owed a fortune of money. We don't need to get into the particulars, but it's like 20-something million next year, 30-something million the year after. Here's my question for both you guys. If you're willing to go all in, and if you have the prospect capital to move to get Juan Soto, would Corbin stop you from pulling the trigger and making this move? As in, would all that money, all that bad contract, and they've got some bad contracts here, would that bad contract potentially prevent the Padres from making a move of this magnitude?
No.
I don't think so. Because if you're adding Patrick Corbin's contract, right? Well, let's start with Soto. You add Soto's contract, you're already going over the luxury tax, probably. They're like, what, $1 million away or something? Then you add Corbin, okay. Next year, Hosmer's not making as much money. And even if you have to go over again next year, like, we're in it to win right now. Like, you guys have had this conversation for the last few days. We're in it to win right now. If you're acquiring Soto, right, you're willing to acquire Soto, you're willing to go all in anyway. So why can't you go all in with taking on a bad contract? You already have someone playing first base every day with a bad contract. Like, Seidler's already willing to have that contract here. My question here with this whole Corbin thing is like, the Dodgers could be interested, right, in Soto. Are they willing to take on Corbin's contract, and do they have the same prospects that we do to get a trade done? I don't know if they have the same, top 4, top 5 prospects as we do, and then they want to go take on Corbin's money. I think the Padres could have an advantage with that.
Jim, would you like to weigh in?
Yeah, do it.
You're saying just keep putting your chips in the middle of the table.
If you have a chance, it's all about if they have a chance.
Mm-hmm.
Like none of this is even possible if the Nationals go, yeah, we're not going to do it, right? So if that becomes possible, and they go and say we want to throw in Corbin, you do not let that stop you. If you're already going to go the distance, just go the distance. Don't worry about this. If they're going to go over the CBT, just push all the chips in.
To put in perspective, I agree with both of you, by the way. I'm doing it. I am all in. If the door opens for Mike Rizzo, the Nats GM, and he's willing to make a move, there is basically nothing that can stop me from completing a deal if it's possible to be completed other than Manny Machado and Fernando Tatis Jr. Like, I stop at nothing else. Joe Musgrove's not. There's a lot of players that wouldn't be a part of this, that wouldn't make sense for the Nats and benefits the Padres keeping as well. But I'm doing everything I can possibly do. But to put in perspective how bad the Corbin deal is, it's as bad as the Hosmer deal, if not worse. It's that bad of a deal.
Well, it's different for Washington because they won a World Series.
Correct.
So in that perspective, like, really, if I'm a fan,
I get what you're saying.
I mean, who cares? I know it sucks for the future, but you still have that World Series. I always go back to Hosmer. If they win a World Series with Eric Hosmer on this team, right? I could care less.
But do they have the flexibility? Like, if the Padres take on Corbin, do they have any flexibility to maximize Soto? Right?
If they're going over the luxury tax, then yeah, they do.
That's true.
Because they're just going to keep spending then.
Because it doesn't matter.
Again, like we were saying, not our money, and maybe they will do this. They were officially over the CBT last year. There is now at least a probability where they go over the CBT again in 2022. There are additional penalties for that. There would be additional penalties for doing it for a third straight year. But then again, the teams that are doing it, like the Dodgers, are winning.
And again, like, it goes back to a couple days ago. No matter what, the team that trades, or if a team trades for Juan Soto, even if they have to bring back Patrick Corbin, is going to win the trade.
Anyone, Ben, you wouldn't move. I mean, you cover the system. You live and die on this stuff. And it's kind of comical. I mean, is there anyone here? We know about Tatis Machado. But is there anyone else in here? And there's a lot of good, talented young players in the organization. It's not disrespectful to say, hey, I would move this player to get Juan Soto. That's more of out of respect for Juan Soto. But is there anyone you'd be very tentative about potentially moving in a deal or not?
We can get into this later. I think we could spend a whole segment on it.
Whole segment. He's producing that, Jim. Do you hear that?
Wow.
I like this.
Okay.
But Jake Cronenworth is the third guy for me.
Okay.
I think in a deal with the Nationals, they're going to want C.J. Abrams or Jake Cronenworth. I don't think sending both of them, or at least from the Nationals' point of view, I don't know if that makes sense. They're not a team that's trying to win right now, obviously. And if you're going to trade for C.J. Abrams, he makes less money than Cronenworth. He's controllable for, double the amount of time that Cronenworth is. And if you're the Padres, Cronenworth's helping this team more than C.J. Abrams is right now. He is an all-star, back-to-back all-stars. He has the positional versatility, can play first, second, third. He's hitting in the middle of the lineup every day. He plays every day, like Manny. He and Manny are like the Iron Man of this team. He's too valuable to give up with Abrams in a deal, along with other prospects, to get Soto. Like, at some point, like, there's people that are going to say Tatis and Manny, right? You're building around them. I think you're kind of building around Cronenworth right now, too.
Yes.
No.
619 takes a shot at Ben Fadden, who's our guest here today from Talking Friars in studio. He says, are you serious? I can't give up Jake for Juan Soto. Get real. He's
our
good.
guest. He's your guest.
He's our guest, dude.
He's your
Come
guest.
on. He's good on a below-average offense. This is according to the texter. Where does Jake bat in a first-place lineup? Ben's a fanboy. Okay, so relax, 619. Ben Fadden's our guest.
Everybody calm down. We're just talking about stupid potential trades, all right?
What's your reaction to that, Ben?
I'll say this.
Oh, here we go.
He's mad.
I'll say this.
We get attacked every day.
All right, just let you know, Ben, you cannot cuss on the radio, okay?
Right.
Yes, John told me that. What I'd say to that is, yeah, I am a fan of Jake Cronenworth. Yep, he's my favorite player, but I can also look at the facts. When people are selecting all-stars, are they looking at Jake compared to the Padres offense, or are they looking at him compared to the best players in baseball? And the answer is they're comparing him to the best players in baseball. He has been an all-star the last 2 years. Where was he hitting in the middle of that lineup when Tatis was healthy? Or he was hitting in the middle of the lineup.
Yeah,
like
the top of it, right?
Yeah, top of the lineup. Like, this guy plays every day. He is amazing defensively. Like, my point is Abrams or Cronenworth, not both. Because at some point, you got to have someone go play second base.
You can't just have the ball go through the right side of the infield.
I mean, you could.
I mean, we have that at first a little bit.
Right.
It's like a radical shift.
Yeah.
Ben is trying to turn into me. He's
This is
like, he
great.
has this whole
This is great.
Eric Hosmer thing. And it's
Oh,
just,
yeah, exactly. I thought you were tough on Hosmer.
What number will Wilson Contreras be wearing for the Padres?
Wow, you're that
No,
confident.
I think it's realistic, yeah.
Okay.
What other teams are involved for Wilson Contreras? Like, I
like
feel
who
like
needs catching help, you're saying?
yeah, like I feel like the Padres are that big team. Same with Soto. Like, the Padres are the team we're hearing the reports about right now with those players, and they have Campusano to give up. Does any other team, are they willing to give up their top catching prospect like the Padres are? And in addition to other prospects, like I think the Padres are in a good situation with Contreras as well.
Here's the thing. I think catching is a huge priority. And the reason I say it is they're just not getting the production they need to get for years and years and years. Has Alfaro had a nice half? Yes. Can he sustain that offensive success the second half of the year? I think it's a big question mark. Has Nola caught games well? Probably. I think the staff ERA with him calling games is probably pretty good. You just need more offense. Like, it's not 1987 anymore. And I do believe it's defensive first with that position, but Contreras is a plus offensive player. You can't turn away from that. And the fact that he's a rental means he's grabbable, and you don't have to move heaven and earth to do it. So I see it as realistic. Again, if you're getting Soto, I don't know if you're getting Contreras. Like, I understand all these things might be tied together.
Still going to go back to what
realistic.
Kyle Glazer said. If this team addresses anything other than outfield help,
it's a
then
mistake.
What are they doing? Like, you're
But
just,
it's outfield, catching, bullpen.
but it's catching like their biggest need right now, or are you just looking at Contreras as just a bat?
I don't know. I think catching's a fairly big need.
I don't think
We
so.
talk about this offense every night. They don't score, and
Love Austin Nola?
It doesn't bother me. Like
Right.
it doesn't bother
because
me.
it's not killing him. He calls good games.
He doesn't
He's a
stand
personal
out like
catcher, Joe
Grisham
Musgrove.
does
No,
to where-
Okay, but you could say the same thing. Like, with the outfield, like, Profar's not bothering me. Estier Ruiz isn't bothering me. Nomar Mazara, the way he isn't bothering me, but I know the Padres need an outfield, a big outfield bat.
I love this so much.
It's your fault.
What I would say, yeah, I mean, it's disappointing these past, especially last year at the trade deadline. I still feel like, though, I have confidence that Preller can deliver this year, or that that he will deliver this year, because he's in this trying to win, right? When is he going to have a better chance to win than right now with the situation that they have, with the prospects that they can give up for a Wilson Contreras or Juan Soto or both? Like, so you have an owner that's willing to spend money. You have Joe Musgrove here. You have Sean Manaea here. You have Nick Martinez. You have Darvish. You have arguably one of the best rotations in baseball. Like, Manny in his prime, maximizing Manny's years. Bob Melvin, him and Soto's contracts line up. When is this situation going to pop up again where you can have a chance to come and really impact this team, improve this team, and put yourself in real good position to go win a World Series? I just don't think that it's going to happen for the rest of these next 3 years when Bob Melvin's the manager. Another Soto, I don't think, is going to be made available. I had the viewpoint going into this whole Soto stuff. If they had to give up Wood, Hassel, Abrams, and Gore, I was like, I don't know about that. Mm-hmm. But, you got to win right now. I was talking about Bob Melvin and this being the time, Manny in his prime, Tatis, when he's healthy. And I didn't even mention Jake Cronenworth. I totally forgot about him. This is a really, really strong core of players, I think. There's no way that you can sit here and say, no, you know what? I don't want Juan Soto. Don't want him to try to go after him. I'd rather stick with James Wood and Robert Hassel III. We don't know if they're going to be Juan Soto, and odds are they're not going to be Juan Soto.
Right. No, we do know they're not going to be Juan Soto. I mean, it's not happening.